Please.
I forgot to turn our light on. What am I doing? What
You
am
know
I
about the
doing?
importance of lighting.
All right, we are live on the air. Drive time in effect. It's Jason. Dan Cook is still in Florida. Lindsay is with us today again. Excellent, outstanding. We have a ton of good guests and interesting topics. And I have to start with that update that we heard during CBS News that the mayor of New York, man, Donald Trump loves the mayor of New York. It is so obvious to me, the contrast, and again, a reminder to me how Tim Walz and Minnesota elected officials absolutely mangled, mismanaged, blew the chance to manage Donald Trump. Sometimes I look at this like a dad. And as a dad of two, one teenager, one 20-year-old. Kids have like strong opinions and strong attitudes and strong approaches. But when you're trying to keep the family on track, like you learn how to manage it, right? You learn the things to not say that set one kid off, the way to motivate another one. And I think in real life, we've had the opportunity to look at the way that Tim Walz manages Donald Trump and the way that the mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, manages Donald Trump. Now, Mamdani just got the president of the United States to release a Columbia University student who was in ICE detention. Now, if you think about the things, let's make a list of things that Donald Trump does not like. Lindsay, let's think of a couple of things that you would put on the list. Attributes that Donald Trump does not care for.
Higher education.
Higher education. Where do you think a Columbia University student, the wokest university in the country,
Bit of a hotbed.
headquarters of the anti-Israel protest movement.
Mm-hmm.
So like Columbia, pretty snooty, right? Ivy League, they rejected Seth DeRusha when he applied there. Not that I'm bitter. Actually, I'm glad. Oof. It's been a little rough there in Columbia the last couple of years. But so you're like, all right, I wouldn't expect the Trumpster to be like, yeah, let's let this Columbia. So one is higher education. We're not a big fan. Two, people in trouble with immigration law.
I was going to say immigrants.
Yeah, immigrants. Yep. I think some immigrant, some are good. The white immigrants he likes pretty much. Mm-hmm. If they're hot, I think he likes hot immigrants. But Trump let this student out. And it's all because of relationships. It's all because Zohran Mamdani, I don't know, would you say he kissed the ring? A little.
I think he got the ring to shine back a little bit.
Interesting.
Some people say that going to the White House is kissing the ring. I know that there was some pushback when he visited there.
Just even going.
Just even going.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. But it's fascinating to watch just how differently he's treated. And Mamdani's a very charismatic young man. There's something about him. He has that it factor that you can't really quantify, but you know it when you see it. I didn't expect it to be so effective against someone who really pushes through a lot of charm and nuance and consideration and just kind of blurts out whatever's in his brain the second it pops in.
Texters say, don't we think it has something to do with that it is New York City, though? It's Trump's city. Mm-hmm. I think it's because Zohran Mamdani is perceived as a winner. He's a winner. He won an election in dominating fashion. Mm-hmm. He draws ratings. He draws cameras. And Donald Trump is a TV guy. and he likes a ratings winner. And so he respects the fact that Mamdani is a winner. And then we had Tim Walz on the FU Donald Trump barnstorming tour after he lost. I don't know that there's anything at this point that any Minnesota politician can do about this. It does make you wonder a little bit about Amy Klobuchar, though, right? Amy Klobuchar chaired the inauguration for President Trump the second time around. She certainly has better relationships with the White House than the current administration does
in the
here.
Conservative Party, she's long had friendships. Lindsey Graham,
That's right.
John McCain.
She's sort of old school, right? And it does make her somewhat unpopular in the left wing of the Democratic Party in Minnesota, certainly. But I just think it's very interesting, and I think about this going forward, where I do think it's a reasonable question whether Amy Klobuchar, we presume she will be the nominee for the DFL race for governor. Certainly possible that someone left of Klobuchar or left of Walz ends up running. But I do think it's a fair question, how are you going to handle this guy? What's your plan? Because I understand the visceral satisfaction with sort of railing against Donald Trump. But I think the evidence, if you care about results, the evidence has been that it's an unmitigated disaster for Minnesota. The ICE surge that came here, you don't think that there's no ICE surge of New York City? Which city do you think has more undocumented immigrants? New York or the Twin Cities? It's New York, and it's not even close. But there's no way on earth. I don't know. To me, it goes to you have to make a decision as a politician, as a leader. Is your goal to fight the fight and to be seen as you're standing up for your people? Because there's value in that. I'm not dismissing that. I do think there are times that as a leader, your job is to channel the rage of your people or channel the love of your people, whatever it is. You are the sort of embodiment of that, and I think that's part of it. But I also think you have to look at results, and do you want to get things to be better for Minnesota? Today, we have, once again, the federal government kind of taking Minnesota and just grabbing a stick and shoving it in our eye. We're going to withhold these massive payments, this massive Medicaid money. They're trying to claw back $250 million in Medicaid funding. $259 million in payments will be halted. Again, do you think that would happen in New York? I don't. Welcome to Weigh In. Lots of texts coming in. 651-461-9226. It doesn't matter, says one texter. Tim Walz is just not a likable guy, according to me and many others. What a funny thing to put in the text. I mean, you're texting it. It is according to you, for sure. And many others. Many people are saying, I disagree. I think Tim Walz is a very likable guy. I think that is sort of what has been surprising to me about the approach that he took here. But I also think for politicians, and we saw this with Scott Jensen when he ran for governor, the applause is so intoxicating. And so since politicians mostly go and speak in front of their own supporters, you end up being more and more aggressive, more and more extreme, more and more pandering to your people because it feels good. They love it. They love it. You get more likes, you get more follows, you get more people at your rallies, you get more fundraising. It feels good. But I suppose what I am looking for is more of a business-like approach. In the business of running Minnesota, what is going to get us the best results over the next 2 years where I didn't I'm not a Trump supporter. But you got to deal with it, right? And Mamdani is winning. He's winning and we're losing. Breaking news just kind of got me going there. So that's what that's what we start with. We'll break in a minute. The city of Champlin decides, you know what? We're going to fly the old Minnesota flag in our city. I find it utterly embarrassing. Champlin, grow up. We'll talk about it in just a minute here on Drive Time.
Chris Lindahl.
Lindahl, eh? Hey, let's talk about my guy, Chris Lindahl. It's Jason here with a message about the guaranteed cash offer. Now, a lot of you think the guaranteed cash, I shouldn't say a lot of you. Me and many others thought that the guaranteed cash offer was for people who really wanted to sell their house quickly. Maybe you needed to move, maybe you got a divorce, maybe you got inherited a house and you just don't have the cash flow to be able to pay for another mortgage. And the guaranteed cash offer is perfect for your scenario. But it's also perfect for people who just don't want to deal with the headaches. The housing market is uncertain. Uncertain. Mortgage rates, they're up, they're down. People are more picky when they're going through the process. They're backing out at the last minute. A lot of uncertainty in the employment market. I've been hearing of many cases where you get close to closing and then the person backs out because they lost their job. More and more people are saying yes to the big red check from Chris Lindahl because they want certainty. They don't want the headaches. They don't want the hassles. They don't want the sleepless nights. They want a big red check. Chris Lindahl's a local guy. He's from here. He lives here. He's helped me and Alyssa when we were looking for a home. He'll take care of you. Right. Find out if the guaranteed cash offer makes sense for you. Go to chrislindahl.com. Get a free smart seller guide and do it today.
Hey, Adam Carter here, inviting you to join me November 30th to explore tropical Costa Rica with Colette. We'll stay in the Monteverde Cloud Forest, a place you have to see to believe, where trees grow to heights of 100 feet and the wildlife is abundant.
Oh, the light. Turn the light on, DeRusha. That's right. Wake up, Lindsey Brown. Wake up.
Rise.
This and so much more. Colette handles all the details, flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Do not miss out. Call Colette at 866-436-6734 or visit WCCO.com to learn more. That number again, 866-436-6734. Let's go to Costa Rica.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all.
Have you seen anything else come out of Mexico after they took out that cartel leader?
No, it's been strangely
weird.
silent.
Like,
Right?
I don't know. I saw some people that are trying to fan like fake news and stuff about what was happening, but I thought there would be like a bigger, like, we're setting cars on fire and stuff.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to Drive
I guess
Time with
just kidding. We'll be right back. JK.
I will not. I will not.
News Talk 830
Not doing it.
WCCO.
The argument over the new Minnesota state flag, I am convinced, is one of the phoniest arguments in the history of this state. Nobody really cares. You do not really care. But you have decided that something is being taken away from you. The old Minnesota flag that no one flew and no one knew anything about other than Republicans used to think it was ugly also. And Republicans over the last 30 years have asked for a new state flag. But because we are in the dumbest times in the history of the world, we have turned the redesign of our state flag into some sort of political Rorschach test to decide if you're too woke or if you're too backwards. And today, or this week, I should say, the city of Champlin decided it was time to take the Rorschach test. And this suburb in the Northwest, neighbor of Maple Grove, neighbor of Brooklyn Park, just south of Anoka, a fine community. Champlin, what is Champlin most known for, would you say? They got a movie theater that I used to go to with the kids. They got a Buffalo Wild Wings out there. Kind of a pretty little park along the Mississippi River. I don't know. What else? What do you know about Champlin?
I remember playing with a couple of young ladies back in the day in my hockey career days that were from Champlin. That wasn't really a burgeoning program at that point. But that's pretty much the extent. I'm kind of like, that's somewhere between like Coon Rapids, Anoka, like, you know.
Q Fanatic Barbecue in Champlin. That's delicious.
Wasn't aware.
I have gotten lost on my bike before riding through Elm Creek Park Reserve. And all of a sudden, I'm like, where in the heck am I? It appears to be Champlin. Now, Champlin took a vote in their city council, February 23rd. The topic on the agenda, should the city fly the 1983 Minnesota state flag, or should they fly the redesigned 2024 state flag? Incredibly, 10 residents showed up to testify because they really care about which flag is waving, is on display in front of the Champlin City Hall. And of course, they voted for the old flag. 651-461-9226. What do you think? I think it's idiotic. I think if you fly the new flag, what you get to say is, I didn't design it, I don't love it, but it's the flag. And so I'm shining it. I'm flying it, and I'm shining it. I don't know what that means.
Feast your eyes.
Champlin, though, by flying the old flag, is saying we believe that the flag is woke. And the city of Champlin doesn't stand for that.
Nice.
Stupid.
You have something to say?
It's stupid. The new flag has only a 29% approval rating. Champlin and St. Francis formally voting to do so. Other cities, including Detroit Lakes, Cross Lake, Pequot Lakes, and Babbitt, are reportedly opposed to the new flag, says a texter. Why? Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do this? Why do you decide that this flag has some sort of meaning? That it's like the new flag?
Right,
what does it mean? Why are you mad at the new flag? I don't love the design of the new flag. I don't. I've gotten used to it after 2 years. It's the flag. Why do we have to do this to everything? We have to turn everything into something we freak out about politically. It's just a flag.
Why is there no purple? Like, purple's our state color. How do we not utilize purple? Purple is the most underutilized color in pretty much all professional settings.
Yeah.
I would like to declare a new election for the state flag.
Sure.
I think we just keep starting over. Like, you do the draw the hand turkey for Thanksgiving. Everybody just sends in their stuff.
Yeah. We did that.
Do it again!
What? We did everything that everyone wants.
Possible, Jason.
Everything.
In purple we trust.
Good for you, Champlin. Maybe other cities will follow suit. Does anyone think it's good for Minnesota to have cities flying 2 different flags? Be serious. It is not good for the state. It is a visible sign of saying, I'm on this team and I'm on the other. We should all be on Team Minnesota. And we all can have different views about the right way to get there. But to visually plant your flag in the ground and say, no, we want the old one. Grow up. This is what our elected officials are worried about. It's because you guys care about it. You've decided there's this meaning to it. It's ridiculous. Jason, 3 cheers for Champlin flying the real Minnesota state flag rather than the new Somaliopolis fake flag. Do you have the nads to share that on the air? I doubt it. So, those of you who are allowing yourselves to be manipulated into thinking that the new flag looks like the Somali flag based on the fact that there is a star on it, I guess. I've many times shown on our live stream the difference between the Somali flag and the Minnesota flag. And they, to me, look nothing alike. I mean, I guess if you think, like, because they're blue, like, that is close enough. Like, one flag, the Somali flag has a centered white star with 5 points. The Minnesota flag has a smaller off-center, 8-pointed star. I mean, it's just stupid. But enough, you've seen it on social media enough from like people telling you what to think, and so there it is. I just think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I do think maybe Lindsay's right. But I guess I'm not optimistic that we could do any process that would make the boobs of our state happy. There are enough people, unless you had a direct public vote on it.
At least perk up, you know.
Texter, it's really ugly. The new flag is really ugly. Okay. You know what? The old flag was pretty freaking ugly, too.
Somebody said laser eye loon. Let's do a purple laser eye loon.
We should have a funny one. We should
Why
have a
not?
funny. That'd be fine.
We do it with the snow plows. Why does this have to be this serious? It's a flag.
Well, it is serious. It's the most important thing in the world. And you, for sure, should go to your city council meeting and tell Champlin to stand up for the old way of Minnesota. I think people are mad because in part of the process, there were statements made that the old flag had some imagery that was considered racist by some. And so the kind of up people's,
WCCO,
kind of the hair on the back of your neck.
I'm doing good, Kevin. What do you got?
I just think objectively, if you are going to have 2 different Minnesota flags flying throughout our state, I just see that as so disappointing. Such a loss. Mm-hmm. Such a loss. And I think they're purposely trying to sow division. And I think it sucks. I think it sucks. And I think the people who are riding this train should be ashamed of themselves.
Appreciate you listening, Kevin. Thanks for calling.
Because
have a great rest of your day. This
is nothing but a loss for Minnesota, I think. Let's break. Texter, you need to. So many racists on the text line.
Yeah,
My God.
It's a bit
What is wrong with you people?
Call line has been interesting as well.
The reason people are mad is it was a decision made by Walz and never had a vote from Minnesotans. It was not a decision made by Walz. It was a committee. I mean, honestly, you guys have so many facts about this wrong. It's because you don't care. You don't care about the facts. It's fun to be like, it's racist. It's woke. It's Walz. Just so boring. And Champlin, you got played. It was a 3-2 vote. You guys got played. You should have told your residents the 10 who came out to grow up and that you'll have the same flag as the rest of Minnesota. And if you don't like the new flag, then start a new commission, new process, make a new one. Let's break in a minute. Walz created the committee. The legislature created the committee. I'm not going to do this. You guys can just sit around and argue about the flag and have a good time. Stupid. There's a new flag. Grow up. Move on. That's my view. 3:33. We're going to break in a minute. So much money, incredible amounts of money raised to try to help people out in need. Mutual aid. You've seen a lot of these fundraisers all over Minnesota. We wanted to know what next. The Women's Foundation raised a ton of money, but now what? How are they helping people? Where does this money go? We're going to get some answers in just a minute here on Drive Time.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. Before the flowers bloom, ahead of the birds returning.
We should have Gloria, so that'll be on your computer.
She is here.
Gloria, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
I got you loud and clear. Thanks so much for joining us today.
News Talk 830 WCCO.
Every business starts.
Oh, now you got muted, but I think that's Jason's fault. So hang there.
She's back.
She's back.
I muted her.
No problem.
Stop silencing women, Jason.
No, fair.
Resolution or not, if you haven't made a plan yet, I'm talking about a plan, an estate plan, a plan for, your stuff.
JTR Roofing for weather.
Thank you.
In the pants to get it done. And when it comes to estate planning, I recommend my dear friend, Matt Beckman. Matt has helped me so many times. I'm talking medical powers of attorney, plans for the kids when they go off to college, and his full estate plan for me and for Mark. He's done it for my family. He can do it for you. He and his partner, Jamie Wagner, will do an incredible job for you, and you will be happy it's done. Call Gutman Law today. 612-895-1616. GutmanLaw.com. 612-895-1616. GutmanLaw.com. Peace of mind today or tomorrow.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Honey's sweet, not as sweet as the sweet deals Brothers has for you. Your fortune needs work. I'm waxing poetical with Brothers Sweet Deals event. Up to 24-month, no interest, no down payment financing. Free metro delivery with the purchase of a furniture protection plan. And free furniture cash with a donation to the local food shop.
All of Brothers furniture is manufactured in North America, and 95.67% is made in the USA. Upgrade your home with living room, bedroom, and dining room furniture and mattresses through March 2nd.
Deals as sweet as honeydew fine water. Showrooms in Minnetonka, Woodbury, and Burnsville.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash hoping to slow things down for 94 eastbound, move past Zane Avenue, the crash itself off to the right side. Traffic slows in the area, remains tight. Head road on Highway 65. If you're traveling across town eastbound, got some slowing there on 69 over 235. Billy, East 94 on St. Paul. Speeds as posted is midway past Mounds Boulevard heading into Wisconsin. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
JTR Roofing is bringing us our weather forecast. Let's check in with Chris Schaefer. Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it is warm, 42 and sunny here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
It's okay to be skeptical and cynical about this. I think that's part of the deal, but it's also okay to have fun.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
So many people all around Minnesota, all around the country have donated to different projects, different fundraisers all around the surge of ICE agents. Today in the Star Tribune, there was a story about the concerts. You know, they had all these concerts where money was raised, and the Star Tribune was taking a look at, like, all right, you know, how much was raised at this stuff? Where's the money going? And, you know, some big money, like Brandy Carlisle, the show at Target Center was about $700,000. The Bruce Springsteen show, the gross was about $35,000 from that. So a lot of different concerts where there was money raised. But the money from those efforts dwarfed by some of the kind of immediate response funds that were raised. And I was astonished to learn that the Women's Foundation of Minnesota raised $10 million in just 5 weeks. The president and CEO is Gloria Perez. She is with us live via video link up, so you can watch it at YouTube at the WCCO radio channel. Gloria, good to have you with us.
Jason, thanks for having me.
$10 million is pretty incredible. Were you surprised by the response?
Well, I sure was, and I want to definitely give credit to the fact that this money was raised by a coalition of 32 philanthropic organizations that asked the Women's Foundation to be the host for the funds and distribute them to community. And so all of us initially set a goal of $5 million and thought that would be a great start to address some of the impact due to Operation Metro Surge. And to our surprise, we were able to raise twice that amount.
So when you look at the money that you brought in, a lot of the money's already gone out the door to families and community organizations, right? Tell us about, like, where does it go? What is it doing? How did you guys do that?
Absolutely. Well, because it's a immigrant rapid response fund, in our minds, we wanted to make that distribution as quick as possible. And initially we raised $150,000 and thought we can immediately put 10 grants of $15,000 out into community. And that was our first week that we started this. But within 5 weeks, you know, we've been able to have 5.7 million distributed into community because this group of leaders has been meeting on a weekly basis to assess where are the needs and how can we put money into community. So it's been going to organizations that have already had an infrastructure to help our small business communities, to help our neighbors with food, access to emergency healthcare, access to rental assistance. And these are the organizations that our colleagues were able to bring to the fore so that we could vet them and get money in their hands as quick as possible.
Gloria Perez is with us, the CEO and president of the Women's Foundation of Minnesota. Just to circle back, you said $5.7 million has already been deployed?
That's right. Yes. And the goal is to not hold on to the money, right? I mean, the goal is money in, money out. And
this is scary, though, right? Like, because the truth is, and we all remember the COVID era where the goal was money in, money out. And a lot of it was sort of unfair. You had some people getting money, other people didn't. It was kind of a train wreck. How do you avoid that sort of scenario? Did you learn from the way some of this stuff went down at that time?
Absolutely. I think one of the ways that we're able to mitigate that kind of risk is the fact that the group of leaders that I'm talking about came together very quickly, but it was actually started about a year ago when a group of Latina philanthropic leaders came together to say, let's prepare in advance of 2026 and start thinking about how we're going to work together to deploy money into the Latina immigrant community, right? So we started talking about what's the infrastructure, who do we know, how do we map the needs and so forth.
Was there an anticipation that there might be some sort of that this type of moment might arise?
There was anticipation, and I think as a Latino community, a Latina community, we really thought we would be the target. But what we quickly noticed was that our Somali, East African neighbors, other people of color were being targeted as well. And so we pivoted to invite other neutral communities to join us in making decisions about how we were going to get money into community. But what I really want to say is at the core of how we've been making decisions has been strong relationships between my peers in community. You know, many of us are from community, and so we know these organizations. We know they've been a part of the nonprofit infrastructure and have been under-resourced for so long. And this is an opportunity to get money into their hands quickly so that people can get what they need.
Gloria Perez is the CEO and president of the Women's Foundation of Minnesota. Part of what I find fascinating about this is that, you know, this really was an immediate rapid response emergency scenario where you have people who can't afford the rent or can't, maybe they're scared to go to the grocery store and buy food or whatever, like trying to figure out what were some of the agencies that you granted money to try to make a difference. I mean, do you have any stories of where you know, like, all right, this made a real impact?
Absolutely. I mean, the Latino Economic Development Center, I think people know how Lake Street businesses have been impacted, the east side of St. Paul. The Latino Economic Development Center is making assistance grants to small business owners so that they can stay in business. That's really important. There's an organization in St. Cloud, Huya Hour, that is working with the East African community primarily, making sure that women and children, you know, and their families are getting food, that they're addressing their healthcare needs, that they're able to have safe, stable housing in this moment. Hmong American Partnership, you know, having volunteers go out into homes of community members and deliver emergency care packages. You know, the amount of isolation, I think, is something that we didn't anticipate, much like with COVID, how demoralizing that would be. It is not good to be living in fear.
I changed.
Diminishes everybody's ability to make good decisions and be healthy. And then lastly, the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center has been helping with rental assistance.
It's so interesting, Gloria, and the reality is we know that this sort of rapid funding, part of the goal is to make sure you sort of, I don't know, to use a medical term, you're trying to stop the bleeding so things don't get worse. And as anybody knows, when you've been dealing with debt or uncertainty, you know, a couple of weeks of that, you're like, well, the first week you think maybe you can kind of right the ship, and then the second week it gets scary, and the third week it gets horrifying. And so it is an interesting part of philanthropy, right? Because we think about this as being more like, I don't know, you guys have a more organized way of things versus like the GoFundMe-ification of trying to deal with this stuff.
We do, and as philanthropy, and certainly at the Women's Foundation, you know, we're looking.
There's like a weird echo that was coming.
It sounds like her mic's off and she's talking to the computer. Yeah.
Sorry, am I?
No, you're fine. You're all good. It's all good.
So at the Women's Foundation, we're really looking to invest in long-term inequities and drive innovation for gender and racial justice. And I think many foundations are looking for long-term systems change. What we know is we can't get to that systems change if our civic society is unraveling. And so we are at this moment triaging some of the problems. At the same time, we're planning for what those long-term implications are going to be to rebuild the fabric of our community.
It's really great work, $10 million, and there still is an opportunity for people to donate if they want at the Women's Foundation of Minnesota. You could just Google it, or it's WFMN.org, and that'll get you right to the website where people can donate and make a difference in the community. Gloria, great work. Really smart that you guys were sort of thinking this through ahead of time to be able to respond in real time.
Thank you, Jason. It's been an honor to be part of the process.
Gloria Perez with us, the CEO and president of the Women's Foundation of Minnesota. We are going to break. Pretty cool, right? Cool stuff.
Fantastic.
In a minute, I want to talk a little bit about a missed opportunity that I see going on at the legislature. Fraud is the big issue, but do these legislators have the kind of intestinal fortitude to do the right thing? We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to DriveTime with
Thank you.
DeRusha. Video
I don't know why she could hear us.
So I think there is a setting that I think...
Because, like, for us to do it, it's like if we have it in program 4, they can hear whatever we say, but that clearly...
Both our mics were off.
Correct.
I
feel bad because she stopped. But you think it's
Oh, I know what it is.
Your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are slow for 694 eastbound Shingle Creek Parkway heading up to Silver Lake Road. 494 eastbound got your slowdowns there as you come in from the Bush Lake Roads 235W. And 394 eastbound, no surprise, that is a slow ride as you come in from 100 into downtown Minneapolis. South 35 east, some slowing 494 as you head down to Diffley Road. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast time. It's warm today, isn't it? It's a little weird. I think it's a little weird. Tomorrow is going to be warm as well. Maybe 50, 47 is what Schaefer is forecasting for the high. Then it gets really cold. Saturday and Sunday, barely out of the low 20s. Warms back up to average next week. Right now in St. Paul, it's 43 on CCO.
Tune in, take part, Come on, don't just be a spectator. Get in on the discussion. The CCO talk and text line, 651-461-9226.
So you'll hear in the top of the hour news, Laura's going to update you. The latest, the governor had a news conference today talking about, everybody's got plans to fight fraud. And there's one plan that pretty much everybody agrees is the right thing to do. And that is this bill to have an office of inspector general. The idea that the legislature and the government in Minnesota needs a permanent position, somebody that's going to be like, your job is to make sure that nobody's screwing us over as taxpayers. I think a lot of people think that the state auditor is that job because it has an auditor in the name. But that is not the job of the state auditor. The job of the state auditor is to audit cities and counties, other units of government around the state. It's not to audit the state itself. Maybe it should be, but that's not what it is. So we have a bill that just feels like such a no-brainer. Such a no-brainer. It is passed out of the Senate. In May of 2025, Senator Heather Gustafson, DFLer from Vadnais Heights, who should be praised. And then in the House, it's sponsored by Matt Norris, who's a DFLer from Blaine. But the DFL in the House is holding this thing up. This Inspector General bill has been stalled twice in the same week. Now, we've talked on many different issues that sometimes getting something done now is better than having it the perfect way. This is my view when it comes to a lot of the sort of school safety and gun legislation. That opponents to gun legislation have won the debate by pointing out every little weakness or flaw in any potential bill. And so they've created this environment that like, well, if you can't make it perfect, if you can't, why even bother? Why do it? And I do think that legislation is allowed to be a little imperfect. And part of the deal, especially when you have an emergency scenario, which I do think the fraud in Minnesota is pretty dang close to an emergency scenario. So I would say to the House, knock it off. The Senate passed this thing with huge bipartisan support. Huge bipartisan support. The main difference in these bills is who should appoint the Inspector General and whether this office is going to have its own law enforcement agency. So Democrats are saying, we have enough. We have a financial crimes division in the BCA. They're doing a lot of work. The BCA commissioner talked today at the governor's news conference. Republicans are saying to the Senate bill, why are you letting the governor choose who the inspector general is? So these guys are just jerking around like, again, so everybody can still have this issue. This is my fear about the fraud issue. Because I don't know, if you're like me, one of your frustrations with government is that don't you sometimes feel like they don't actually want to solve any of these problems?
What, Jason?
I know. If you solve it, then you can't keep belly aching about it when you're running for office next time around.
Well, and then you also have new problems. Sometimes it's just easier to chew on the old problems until they become paste.
Yeah, and that worked out real well with not dealing with abortion, as the Congress never dealt with that, with not dealing with immigration. So they never dealt with that. It works out real well if you just keep chewing on the same garbage. I do think this session is going to be a real test. Normally, I would say that the question is whether Republicans are going to cooperate, because Republicans want to hang on to the fraud issue to run against the Democrats. In this case, it's the DFL. What are you doing? What is the DFL House doing? The Senate has passed a bill. Pass the bill. Move on. If you don't like it, if it's not perfect, figure out tweaks to it going forward. But they screwed up by not getting this done last time, and they're going to screw this up again, aren't they? And do nothing. Nothing. Disgusting. CBS News is coming up. Some fun for you at the top of the hour, too. Stay here.
Hey, Adam Carter here, inviting you to join me November 30th to explore tropical Costa Rica with Colette. We'll stay in the Monteverde cloud forest, a place you have to see to believe, where trees grow to heights of 100 feet and the wildlife is abundant, from butterflies to sloths. Enjoy breathtaking views in Nature's Museum. Visit a coffee plantation to learn the history from the bean to the cup. Plus, relax in a resort on the most beautiful beach of Guanacaste. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details: flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Do not miss out. Call Colette at 866-436-6734 or visit WCCOradio.com to learn more. That number again, 866-436-6734. Let's go to Costa Rica.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Keeping you in the know and in the conversation. News Talk 830 WCCO. 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Streaming live via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A White House official confirms to CBS News that at least 2 American citizens were aboard a stolen speedboat shot at by Cuba's Coast Guard yesterday. At least 1 of the 4 killed and 1 of the 6 injured were U.S. citizens. It was first reported by Axios. CBS's Christian Benavides.
Cuba says it also seized assault rifles, handguns, Molotov cocktails, and bulletproof vests from the boat, alleging the group had intentions of carrying out terrorism. The U.S. has yet to verify those claims.
Warner Brothers deems CBS News parent company Paramount Skydance's takeover bid as superior to Netflix. Netflix has 4 business days to counter. A Columbia University student who was detained by federal agents this morning at one of its dorms has been released. On campus, this student says of the atmosphere.
Everyone is very nervous. Everyone is very scared. Students are literally hiding in their dorms right now because they're afraid to come outside.
CBS's Jared O'Chacher says Columbia University is taking steps to educate those on campus on how to deal with this type of situation.
That includes a webinar that's happening today on immigration policy and laws, and also more public safety patrols that are being deployed to residential buildings around campus.
The detention has prompted a peaceful protest at Columbia University this afternoon. A day before former President Clinton is to be deposed, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton testifies before a House committee in connection with the investigation into late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. CBS's Allison Keyes.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says she didn't know about Epstein's criminal activities and says the committee should be questioning President Trump under oath. Ranking member Robert Garcia says he demands
that we ask President Trump to testify in front of our committee.
Garcia says Hillary Clinton is answering all questions and continues to demand that the press be allowed into the deposition. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Iran and the U.S. held a third round of talks today in Geneva. Our Cammie McCormick with that.
Iran's foreign minister described the talks as some of the most intense yet and the longest. Oman's foreign minister, who was mediating, said there had been significant progress and technical talks would begin next week in Vienna. That's the home of the International Atomic Energy Agency, the UN's watchdog agency that would be critical in any deal, but there are no signs of that.
A new state law impacting transgender residents is now in effect in Kansas. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports.
The measure requires state IDs to reflect the sex assigned at birth and forces affected residents to pay for their replacements. The new law affects more than 1,000 residents in the state. Civil rights groups say legal challenges are likely.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly sunny, 41 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announcing a comprehensive legislative package to fight fraud in state programs today. He says the plan builds on steps that are already being taken when it comes to fraud detection, strengthening investigative authority, and increasing criminal penalties. During a press conference, his anger and frustration with the Trump administration's new plan to withhold some Medicaid funding simmering beneath the surface.
This is a targeted retribution against a state that the president doesn't like. The real shame in all this is a state that does health care as well as anybody.
State Medicaid Director John Connolly saying they have been rooting out fraud for a year and a half.
We've substantiated a number of actions before CMS engaged us in December. So the claim that this is necessary to make sure that we're serious about fighting fraud is just not credible.
At the Capitol, a Minnesota House committee hearing from college administrators on how Operation Metro Surge impacted their campuses.
Augsburg, one of the most diverse private colleges in the country, has had several bomb threats and at least 3 students detained. University President Paul Pribenow.
One of those detentions took place in an Augsburg-owned parking lot on campus on December 6th. That day, a group of armed, masked ICE agents targeted an undergraduate student and confronted members of our community directly outside a residence hall. Without producing a warrant, the agents aimed weapons at witnesses that included staff and students.
Like Augsburg, Winona State has had to alter the way they teach and students learn. Interfaculty Organization President Jenna Chernega.
For one, we have disappearing students. Faculty report that some student groups have stopped meeting because of fear of leaving their dorms.
Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
DFL State Senator Matt Klein today unveiling a proposal to protect access to vaccines.
Klein, a physician at Mayo Clinic, wants to establish a state-level science-based healthcare commission and mandate that insurance companies cover essential immunizations.
Parents across Minnesota need to know they have reliable information on what they should be giving their kids for vaccines. Adults need it too. And we've got great healthcare resources here in Minnesota. Mayo Clinic, University of Minnesota. I thought we should muster our best intellectual talent and give Minnesotans reliable information on what's best for their health in this moment.
The proposal follows recent federal shifts in vaccine eligibility and funding. The bill now awaits a potential hearing in the legislative session where it would require bipartisan support to move forward. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830. WCCO.
And in other headlines, former FBI Director James Comey in the Twin Cities today for a discussion on ethics and a positive update on Twins pitcher Pablo Lopez. The team says he had successful elbow surgery yesterday and did not need a full reconstruction. Lopez will still miss the entire 26th season, though. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Watching some slowdowns on 494 eastbound, East Bush Lake Road, 235W. South 35W slows across the Minnesota River Bridge. Highway 13 eastbound congested midway through Savage right now. Traveling 35W southbound. It slows through downtown Minneapolis, picks up past Lake Street, and slows again as you make way toward Diamond Lake Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Gutman Law, wills, trusts, and probate law at gutmanlaw.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Our spring-like vibe rolls on. Partly cloudy this evening, only falling back to 30 overnight tonight. That's quite mild. Even warmer tomorrow with a high in the mid-40s. Now, it is going to get windy. A western wind will become more northwest in the afternoon, 10 to 15. That's going to bring in some cooler air. Saturday's high 22, 25 Sunday, the one chance of snow across southern Minnesota Saturday morning.
Mostly sunny right now, 41 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Stay smart, stay connected by staying tuned in. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, drive time in effect on a Thursday. It is my Friday. It's Jason. Laura updating you on the news. Lindsey Brown is here for Dan Cook.
You're not going to be here tomorrow?
I am off tomorrow.
Who am I working with? I'm going to be here tomorrow. Am I steadying the ship while also driving the ship?
Possible. You may be hosting the show. I have no idea.
My goodness.
A lot of people think I have some say over who fills in for me.
I'm sure I have an email somewhere.
I like people believing that I have that sort of power around here, but you know better than that.
Well, I know that you've found ways to accumulate power by spreading yourself through the community.
Is that what I'm doing?
I think so. You just showed me a little bit of your behind the scenes from earlier this afternoon. You get the bit.
I had a little. So I have my first intern since my TV days. In my early days at TV, I had Kate Raditz, who was a former reporter at Channel 4. She was one of my interns. Mm-hmm. Another former intern is like a big shot at Best Buy, like marketing person at Best Buy.
Everything you touch turns to gold.
And then the federal government changed the law or changed the guidelines where interns have to get paid. Did you ever have an unpaid internship? Or what was the best internship you ever had? 651-461-9226. I want to hear intern stories because all of my internships were unpaid when I was younger. Did you have any internships, Lindsay?
I mean, I was a student athlete, which is kind of like an unpaid internship.
It's like indentured servitude is what it is.
I feel like they got more perks.
Now they get paid. What did you get as a student athlete?
I got an education. I got the opportunity to better myself every single day.
Sounds like what my bosses have always been telling me when I ask for a raise.
It's a great place to learn marching orders. So is school.
I do think, did you ever get, shoes or?
Sure, I got more stuff at Ohio State than I did at St. Anselm College, but there was some swag. There's a few team polos, a sweatsuit perhaps.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's
nothing
fine.
too
nothing
fancy.
too extravagant.
No
cars.
I mean there was rules for that. You couldn't do that.
So my intern now gets paid. Her name is Sunny Choi. She is very creative and very organized and delightful. And Sunny is at the University of Minnesota. They have this program called an e-ternship.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
It lives in the entrepreneur program. Yeah, so modern. Not an
modern
internship.
Education. Get your boots on the ground.
So it's part of the entrepreneur program over at the Carlson School. And kids have to be accepted into the program, but then they have startups, which I guess technically my side hustle is a startup. So you have to go to this thing and sort of beg the kids it's like a pick-me event.
You're not used to that power dynamic.
No.
I know which way the flock moves when it's in your presence, and it's toward.
I am a marginal local celebrity.
Don't you know who I am?
So I had to go to these kids and be like, please intern for me. I'm really cool. It's a little embarrassing. And you're like, I'm sure these kids are thinking like, I am going to have this awesome experience on my resume.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, here's this startup company, here's that startup company. And then there's like, hey, everybody, I'm AM Radio's Jason DeRusha.
Correct.
And behind me is like my company logo. And it just says DeRusha.
Stock options?
So they get paid. I pay her.
That is already, I think, an amazing thing, Jason, because there's lots of people that's like, that's not what I did, so I need to keep paying it forward, which is to pay no one.
Yeah. I interned at ABC News in New York City. I interned at New York City.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I interned with Peter Jennings. Peter Jennings knew my name.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
The lore, it grows. Oh, my God.
And that summer probably cost me $7,000 to $10,000.
In what year as well? Not to date you.
Right, yes.
But
I mean, 95. So.
Well, you were out on the town a lot, I'm sure.
Well, I was under 21, so it was.
That doesn't matter.
I didn't
New York?
There's a lot of talk around the radio station today about the rodents. We have a bit of a mouse issue. Our boss just came in and was telling us about the mouse that was found in his lunch sack in his office. I lived in a dorm at NYU where my first night in the big city, Midwestern, Milwaukee University guy, Marquette University, on Washington Square Park. That's where my dorm was. And I'm trying to sleep, and I hear I'm like, what is that? And then you hear it again, like, and it was a rat scraping at the door.
At the door. Okay. So it wasn't in the walls.
Wasn't in the walls.
So there's that.
That
They
night.
had the courtesy to knock at least.
I thought that a lot of people think New Yorkers are not polite, but this rodent didn't just come in the room. Well, I had a sock on the doorknob. So
Your first night in the big city, Jason.
just not true.
Naughty knots.
Unpaid internship. Lots of texts coming in. Student teaching is an unpaid internship.
Our economy runs on unpaid.
I was an unpaid intern for a federal agency. I got a letter of recommendation and job reference.
That's sick.
Another texter says, best intern I ever had was in a broom closet. I said, do we have a rim shot sound effect
I
for that
can't
joke?
find it. I do have it.
My favorite unpaid internship. Oh, look at that.
Look at me. Comedic timing is everything.
My favorite unpaid internship was at the St. Paul Saints on the event team.
That had to be a hard hustle. Double deodorant, I'm sure.
My friend Tom was a St. Paul Saints intern back in the day, too. And that was back at the old...
That's what I'm saying, the old Saints Stadium.
Yeah.
You got to get the people going. And, peak of
tough.
summertime,
Yeah.
you're on top of the dugout.
Yeah.
A lot of great section finals at that baseball stadium as well. Great place, Industrial Boulevard.
Jason, I was an intern at KQRS back in the day. Back in the days, the Fabulous Babes and the Urban Assault Vehicle. Man, KQ back in the day.
It's a place to be.
It was the thing. I didn't get paid anything. I got some food once in a while. It did lead me into a career in the entertainment business. Yeah, I mean, I had an unpaid internship at a TV station in Milwaukee, and then they hired me as an employee while I was in college, and that's how I got the internship in New York, because my mentor was the main anchor. Jerry Taff was his name. And Jerry called Peter Jennings' secretary because Jerry was like the big man, right? The 10 o'clock anchor. He called Peter Jennings' secretary, who ran the internship program, and called her once a week.
For you.
For me.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
There's these little things in life that are so fragile that push you toward wherever you end up being. And the lengths that some people go to make sure that happens. Again, when I talk about unpaid, unsung.
Right. Oh, what he did for me, amazing. So now I have an intern. She gets paid. So I pay half of her pay, and some grant at the U pays the other half. But what's fun about it for me is I get to be around like some Gen Z energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think like what everybody thinks about the Gen Zers, I think they're all right. They're all right.
So too.
They're creative. They're funny. They are, I can't speak to all of them, but like my boys are Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
And they work hard. Both of them had jobs while they were in high school. Sonny, my intern, like was a figure skater. She knew like some of the gold medal figure skaters.
The worlds tend to be small.
Right? Yeah, when you're in something
Speaking
like
of
that.
elbows that you run into that could
That's
lead
exactly
to bigger
right.
things.
But today I was with her doing a social media video. So she interns in, I don't know, like what do you put on your resume? Like I intern in the DeRusha side hustle.
Or like content creation for the DeRusha Corporation.
I told her she could, like, what does she want her title to be? Like, do you want to be like brand manager intern?
That's a good looking title.
But today we were doing like meme videos. Is that what you would call? I showed you one.
Yes,
of the
there was
things
an
we did.
exaggeratory nature to them that would fall in line with.
But it's
how
like a
memes.
TikTok
Yeah.
trend type. Some of these things are TikTok trends.
Mm-hmm.
And we were recreating them in White Bear Lake this morning. It's good.
What a hub of culture. No offense to the Bears.
My best unpaid internship is all the free entertaining texts I send WCCO Radio. It's true. You know what? We can pay you with our thanks or our disdain. I called people a boob earlier in the show.
They didn't like that.
You know what? Get over it. Like, boob is not that insulting,
It's
is
not.
it?
There's plenty of worse words.
I wasn't referring to anyone individually as a boob. I was referring more to the collective.
The boob collective.
Is that it? Like, how do you feel about that as an insult term?
I mean, I'm used to female-centered words to be used in a derogatory nature, like a commentary on the body.
Really?
We could get into the thesis, Jason. I thought we were leaving it behind.
What's your favorite insult term for like a dummy or for like a dingbat?
I really like the term knuckle dragger for some reason.
All right, those texts are welcome as well. Your favorite insult, keep it clean because that makes it funnier.
Ding dong is good.
Ding dong. I use ding dong a lot. 651-461-9226. When we come back, an airport posts a message banning pajamas at the airport. Do you want this to be true? Because I kind of do. Yes? Lindsay disagrees.
that man.
Lindsay disagrees. We'll get into it. Just a couple of knuckle draggers, a couple of ding-dongs here on News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tell you what, you would never hear a Minnesota pork farmer using the type of derogatory language that you hear out of Drive Time with DeRusha. All right, that's a lie. Most pig farmers probably. One of my favorite Minnesota pork products is ham. And ham is very salty. And salty also describes the language of some of the Minnesota pig farmers that I've met over the years. It's Jason. For the Minnesota Pork Board, we're so grateful for their support of Drive Time with DeRusha. And I consider myself lucky to be able to tell their story. I love Minnesota pork. Alyssa and I have pork for dinner, probably a couple times a week. This week it was a bone-in pork chop. We made it in the air fryer. I put a chermoula sauce that I made on it. Lindsay, do you know what chermoula is?
Nope, can't even
Chermoula?
spell it.
It's chopped up cilantro, olive oil. I suppose it's like an oily cousin of a pesto. Yeah. Does this not sound? This doesn't.
Oily cousin.
It that doesn't sound attractive to you? If you're watching on the live stream, I have an image of chermoula up right now. It's delicious. Delicious. Minnesota pork is so versatile. You can do so many different things with it. And part of the goal here is to encourage you to be more creative with it. Use different parts. Maybe a tenderloin if you've never used that before. How about ground pork? If you've never used ground pork and you're looking at the prices of some of the other ground meats at the grocery store, give pork a shot. Lean, high protein, delicious. Minnesota farmers, 3,000 of them all over Minnesota. Go to tastewhatporkcando.com. Find some recipe inspiration. Go to your grocery store and butcher shop and tell them, let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Larry Elder here. Let me share Brian's story from Alabama, my mom's home state. He tells us after taking Relief Factor for just 3 weeks, at least 90% of my pain is gone. My pain has started to limit me at work and at home, and now I'm amazed at how much relief I've gotten, end of quote. These are Brian's own words, and they speak volumes about what Relief Factor can do for you. I've told you about my buddy Tom, an avid golfer, out on the green almost every single day. He says without Relief Factor, he wouldn't be able to swing freely because of shoulder pain or back pain. But since taking it, he said he stayed active, comfortable, and confident in his swing. He is a scratch golfer. That's why I encourage you to try Relief Factor yourself and see what it can do for you. Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's a good tune right here.
A throwback that I didn't even know existed until Heated Rivalry came out.
Oh.
You know, like the Feist 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I think this is a better
Very
song.
good. This is a better song. I agree. I have not started Heated Rivalry yet.
What? Carter Story is hosting SNL this weekend. It's
Why are you?
Be amazing.
Why are you surprised that I haven't started it? Because I have my finger on the pulse of pop culture. You would expect that I would be all over
Gen
it.
Z interns and how your kids keep you young. I mean, you've had 2 months, the Olympics. Like, it was everything that was hockey for like 6 weeks, and then you were.
Alyssa and I we're going up to Grandview Lodge this weekend.
Ooh.
Maybe a little heated rivalry.
Depends on what the mood you're trying to set. There's certainly some skin, but it's
fine.
honestly one of
It's
the best shows I've seen to show like a development of true human connection and what that looks like for certain peoples.
Yeah.
And so everybody likes to just say it's skinema. But there's a lot there.
There's more to
connect
it.
Yes, absolutely. Especially as it progresses. The last few episodes are just top tier TV.
What do you mean there's skin? Don't spoil it. I don't want any spoiler alerts.
You're gonna learn some things, Jason DeRusha. We all did.
Texters sending their favorite insult terms. Chris on YouTube is saying clown or jabroni. Jabroni, very good.
Yeah, jabroni.
Stoop. Says a texter is one that my buddy used to use. That's pretty good. Nincompoop. Nincompoop.
It's an old one that you need to say with the British accent.
Nincompoop.
Yep. The professor says that.
I use doughhead for colleagues at a job that I recently retired from. My father-in-law always used the term dunderhead. Dunderhead's pretty good. It's comical. Multiple syllables. It's just a funny sounding word.
Mm-hmm.
Lame brain. Yeah, that's pretty good. Twittiot. Twittiot.
Twitter idiot.
Jackwagon. It's pretty good. Dingbat. I like Dingbat. Very good. All right. So Tampa's airport today. I think the reason that this went so crazy is that a lot of us are sick of people just normalizing slob culture. Now, I'm not one of these people that's like, the airport, we used to put on a suit. Come on. Stupid. And I do think, for my taste, we are casual. We have decided that comfort is the most important thing in the world. And comfort is not the most important thing in the world. Sometimes you put on something because you want to put forth a certain image. Or maybe you want a certain level of confidence, right? Like today I'm wearing brown. It's sort of a denim-y like pant, but it's like a chocolate brown. So it's still casual, but I think it looks a little more polished than like wearing sweatpants.
There's nothing wrong with that, Jason.
Well, absolutely not. You work in the radio, so do I.
One of the perks.
One of the perks. Now, I was dressing a little slobbier, and I found I kind of missed dressing nicely. So I wore a tie here to work a couple of days, and it freaked everyone out. They're all like, is he going to interview at a TV station? What's going on here?
He has a court appearance.
Correct. So Tampa's airport on their official X account posts today, we've seen enough. We've had enough. It's time to ban pajamas at Tampa International Airport. After successfully banning Crocs and giving everyone the amazing opportunity to experience the world's first Crocs-free airport, it's time to take on an even larger crisis. Pajamas, period. At, period, the, period, airport, period. In the middle of the day. And then it goes on and says, we know this decision could be disruptive to someone in your life. It's time to have a difficult conversation with them. You can do this. The madness stops today. The movement starts now. Do your part. Say no to pajamas at TPA. Should we ban pajamas at the airport? 651-461-9226. I want pajamas banned from everywhere but home, says a 904 text message. Nothing says I'm not carpe diem and I live in mom's basement like PJs in public.
I'm anti-diem.
So good.
That's a great text.
Grow up. You're not a toddler. Another texter, I hate seeing people in their pajamas at the grocery store. It's gross and shows laziness. Does it show laziness? Lindsay, there's no way you can defend pajamas at the grocery store as anything other than laziness.
My outfit isn't for you. You just made that case, Jason, about dressing nicely because it makes
you do it for
feel
yourself.
A certain way,
Right. That's
what
right.
I put on my body, what I do with my body should be of no concern to you.
Do you care how other people perceive you, though?
I do, but probably in different ways than most people. Like, I don't care what people think I look like, but I care about I care about how they think I think.
Yep, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Are there circumstances, but like you wouldn't go to a funeral, for example, wearing pajamas, would you?
No, but I would try to find a really comfortable pair of jeggings. Because there's a lot of clothes that you can kind of disguise and get that comfort. And you're right, there is this movement towards comfortable clothing and just having that comfort. We could even say like our inability to talk to people. It's discomforting.
It is
to hear the
right.
oppositional view
right.
or to have your views challenged, your beliefs challenged and everything.
It's a really good point, actually. This is not just something that we see in the clothes we wear.
No, there's like a bubble maintenance in a way, I think, to our existence. And, you know what? I think it's honestly not just a response to maybe just how dark things are, but I think we're inundated with like non-consensual interactions and information. Like you're just talking about, do you answer your phone when people call? Do you text? Like there's all this stuff coming at you all the time. And when I put on like comfortable clothes, or even when I was in my goalie gear and say I was on the bench because I got pulled in the second period, we all know what happens. It happens to everybody.
Right.
And you like go into the shell that is like this equipment, and you're able to have this shell around you where like at least it feels good here. And you can take a moment of comfort within that.
Flight attendant texts in saying, I was a flight attendant for many, many years. I've seen it all in terms of passengers and what they're wearing. I'm not against being comfortable at all. I am, however, over the pajama bottoms and the pajama bottoms and the tank top.
That is a combination that sometimes is tough.
I do think, and Sarah on YouTube makes a very valid point. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. I have for sure gone to the grocery store wearing what I wore to sleep. Like sweatpants. And also to be clear, like not in the nude.
Specifically not in the nude.
No, like I don't go to the grocery store. That's not appropriate.
No.
Or legal, I don't think.
Thank goodness.
But Sarah says, as somebody who's chronically ill, if I'm making it to the grocery store in my pajamas, that's a win.
Yep.
Don't judge me.
I hear that.
I think that's fair, right? Like, honestly, I don't care what people wear at the grocery store. But I do think when you go, there is something about an airport, right? You're like, I'm going to go on a plane. Like, if it's an overnight flight and you want to wear pajamas, go ahead, right? You're going to sleep.
I love airports and like hospitals and all these other places where the social contract is suspended and like anything goes.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. And that's why like pajamas at the airport to me are fine.
It fits.
Because it's hard flying. Like there's a lot of things to remember. Do you print your boarding pass? You just do it with your
It
phone. What if your phone dies? Like what if your Face ID is turned off?
Just
like,
sit down. They'll call you up. Then you get up. It's very, very simple.
Zone 6. I don't know if that's
Just
after
follow.
5 or before 7. I forget sometimes. I'm going to stand and watch just in case it disappears. Do you check to see if the gate that you're supposed to fly out exists before you go about your business and your items?
You're going to love my answer, but I normally travel with my wife.
You turn your brain off, don't you? That is a marking of a good partnership. And it should go both ways in different situations.
That's right.
It can't be just one person.
No. There are other times that I'm in charge, but travel is Alyssa. We had to break. We're late. It's fine. What are we late for? Dawn is standing by up at Grandview Lodge. I mentioned that I'm going up there this weekend. We're going to talk about their wine weekend because there's a chance for you guys to come to some really cool events, both tomorrow and Saturday. So we'll talk about Grandview in the winter. I love being up there this time. It's so peaceful and maybe heated rivalry in the cabin. Oh, boy. Drive time back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. Where Minnesota checks in.
Thanks for having me on. Love your show.
I wish more people listened to get the balance.
And chimes in.
I have had enough of this government.
Republicans like to say the law and order.
It's your turn.
Let ICE do their business. We don't want criminals. I've heard this in the news.
Anger makes you stupid.
Add your voice to the mix. The CCO talk and text line 651-461-9226.
Get ready for Bingo for Broomsticks with Ducks Unlimited, February 28th at the Gold Nugget Tavern and Grill in Minnetonka. Doors open at 11 a.m. with bingo starting at 12:30. Play for your chance to win firearms and great prizes. Register now at mndu.org.
Do you have cracks in your basement
have
walls,
you chat with
bowling
us a little
walls,
bit,
or
Don, just to make sure that
foundation?
everything's
Standard
good
Water Control
audio-wise?
Systems is the #1 basement foundation repair contractor
What would
in
you like
Southwest
to chat?
Wisconsin. With highly trained teams of
doing it.
veteran
That's a
employees
great
and no
background that you have,
subcontractors, Standard
behind
Water
you.
can
Looks
repair
very
your basement
picturesque.
foundation. Need basement waterproofing? Standard Water has installed thousands
Okay,
of
can you hear
waterproofing
me?
systems
Yep,
since
I gotcha.
1977. Locally owned with a 4.9 Google rating. You can't go wrong. Schedule your free foundation consultation at standardwater.com.
Chad back here with you on CCO. I want to talk insurance and the group I have trusted for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys.
Don, are you using a computer laptop or a cell phone, or what are you using?
Laptop.
All right. Are you far from the computer or close?
I'm pretty close. Can you hear me?
Yep, you sound okay. It's just a little echoey, so I don't know where the microphone is on the laptop, but just be, I guess, as close as you can.
Okay. How's this?
Good. Yeah, works for me. Excellent.
Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. We need someone who knows this business in all ways, and I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today. 651-738-4811 and tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
This is an important message for anyone struggling with $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or personal loans. Due to ongoing inflation, job loss, and the rising cost of living, many Americans are facing overwhelming credit card balances. If you're drowning in credit card debt, you may
Jason,
qualify
can you
for
still hear me
debt
now?
relief options currently being offered by National Debt Relief
better,
that
a
can
lot
significantly
louder,
reduce
too, which is
what
great,
you owe.
'cause we can
You don't
control
have
that.
to declare bankruptcy or take out a debt
Perfect.
consolidation loan. You could qualify for this debt relief option and only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe. Act now to see if you qualify. With thousands of 5-star reviews online and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, National Debt Relief has helped over 1 million consumers with their debt that qualified for this relief option. So don't wait. Call the Debt Reduction Hotline now. Dial 800-428-5757. 800-428-5757. That's 800-428-5757.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my 3rd order. I heard Jordana on WCCO radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product. And I'm 70 years old, so.
And those sleep night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those sleep night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those sleep night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash off to the right side, North 35W near County Road 10. Get ready for a little bit of congestion as you come up from County Road E2. Traveling 394 eastbound, that's plugged up as you come in from 100 into Minneapolis. Looks like South 100 is slowing as well as Miko between 55 and 394. Traveling 494 eastbound, still got your slowdowns there. Bush Lake Roads heading out to Lindale Avenue. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Washburn McCreevy Funeral and Cremation Services bringing us the weather forecast from Chris Schaefer.
We stay quite mild overnight tonight, only falling back to 30 with a partly cloudy sky. Mid-40s tomorrow. The only negative, the wind picking up from the west-northwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's going to bring in some cooler air. Saturday's high around 22. There is a chance of snow, but it looks mainly to fall across southern Minnesota, where 1 to 3 inches could stack up. Sunday, back to some sunshine with a high of 25.
In Nisswa, Minnesota, right now it is 39 and sunny. Beautiful here on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
You never know on this show, yes.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. DeRusha, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
DeRusha Eats, brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. And for DeRusha Eats, we are going to Nisswa and to Grandview Lodge, where I will be there in about, 6 hours or so. The big cheese at Grandview, Dawn Southworth, is with us via video link up, because this weekend is the big wine weekend and lots of opportunities for people to get involved, even at this late moment. Dawn, it's good to see you.
It's good to be seen, Jason, and it's good to be here.
Yes, very warm today. Saturday, when I wake up at Grandview, I think it's going to be below 0 in the morning. So we're in for quite a temperature swing, but that's part of the magic of the Brainerd Lakes area this time of year, isn't it?
It is truly, and would you expect anything less? I mean, we're always keeping people on their toes with weather.
All right, Dawn, this weekend is the Divine Wine Weekend, wine event, and it starts on Friday, starts tomorrow night. And just tell us, first of all, like, what is this weekend all about?
Well, first and foremost, it's Grandview, once again, is going to create an exceptional experience. And it is all about food and wine. I mean, I don't know if there's anything better in life than food and wine.
No, nothing for me. That's perfect.
Me either. But it's truly all about celebrating food and wine. And we're bringing some amazing individuals across the state here to Grandview to create this experience, from multi-course wine dinners to wine tastings to educational courses. I think there might even be a Q&A with a celebrity individual named Jason.
Yeah.
But
what a thrill for folks to get to hear from me. I think yeah.
And I know everyone else is saying that too.
Well, we're coming. We're going to have a Q&A with the team behind Boucheron, which has been just for you to get them up there goes to like the quality of this weekend that people want to be a part of it. But this restaurant in Minneapolis won Best New Restaurant in the country from the James Beard Awards, which is pretty amazing. So cool that we're going to get to talk.
It truly is. I mean, we are so grateful and just so proud of the partners that we have joining us for this weekend. So we're up for some really good surprises for our guests this weekend.
All right. So there are a couple things, because some people, maybe you don't want to do the whole weekend or whatever. Maybe you're busy this weekend, but you're free tomorrow night for dinner. So let's talk about the wine dinners tomorrow night, because people can buy a reservation, buy a ticket just for these Friday night dinners, right?
You can, and that's what's so great, is that you don't have to do the whole weekend. If you want to come and have a multi-course dinner, we have 2 options for you. One starts at 6 p.m. with a special guest, and our very own Chef Greco will be doing a multi-course wine dinner, and that's served in our main lodge in the Heritage Room. And then we have at 7 p.m., the other option is to have a multi-course dinner in Crew with Chef Mateo from Crew in St. Joseph. So
this is amazing that you got Mateo there, because Crew in St. Joe is one of the, honestly, it's been written up in the New York Times. I've been there a couple of times. It's a phenomenal restaurant.
Yes. And
then to have that paired with some of the cool wine that you'll have from your partners, you're doing, I think Mateo is doing with Foley family wines, right?
Yes, he is. Yes.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So fun opportunities. So Friday night you can do that. And then you also, like, if you wanted to come, Saturday all day are those educational sessions, which I love. Like, you just get, and I feel like I know a lot about wine, and then I go sit in on one of these. I'm like, oh, I did not know that at all. Like, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know when it comes to wine. You know what I mean?
That is true. You're always learning when it comes to wine. So yeah, Saturday is part of our package that we have for those guests that like to stay over and don't want to have to worry about going home. And then Saturday night, we have our grand tasting. And so that's open from 5 to 8 for the public. It is literally, you're going to sample over 100 wines from all around the world. We're partnering with your larger wineries, but we're also partnering with family-owned wineries overseas and in the French areas. So it's pretty exciting to partner with those wineries that take family and traditions as seriously as we do here at Grandview. Along with that, Chef Greco and his team are going to prepare culinary delights that are crafted specifically to go with these wines. So it's all in all a wonderful 3 hours to enjoy nothing but food and wine.
Pretty fun stuff. All of it going down this weekend. And my wife and I also love, it is fun to go to Grandview in the winter. It's a different vibe than the summertime kind of Dirty Dancing Lodge vibe that you get in the summer. In the winter, there's a little more of that peaceful, silent, outdoors kind of nature feeling that I think is so cool.
It truly is, Jason. I was out this morning early here at the resort and walked out on the ice, and it was just such an amazing sight to see the sun come up, and it truly is just mesmerizing. So there's so many aspects to Grandview, especially in the off season, because like we just started, you never know what the weather's going to be. So we've got to be on our toes with experiences for everyone. Very cool. All right, you can get the info if you want to come to any of these events this weekend. I'd love to see you, and make sure you say hi, and it's a lot of fun. Just go to grandviewlodge.com, and the info's right there on the homepage, so you can sign up for any of these events. It's going to be really fun. It'll be good. Thanks, Dawn. It truly is. Thank you, Jason. We look forward to seeing you soon, and safe travels.
Very good. Dawn Southworth is the big shot. I like to call you the big shot. I know you're really the managing director of Grandview Lodge with us live from Nisswa on video link up. You can always watch our show on YouTube. We're available on YouTube on the WCCO radio channel. So you just click the live button. You can watch our show, and during the show, you can rewind and go back to parts you missed or parts where you're like, did he really say that? Like, really?
Can I get yesterday's broadcast, or is it still rendering?
You know why yesterday's broadcast wasn't up?
Too hot for archiving?
There was one song that we played that
wiped everything.
But
I can't handle my tunes.
I just erased that, and now it's back live.
Fantastic.
So you could check it out.
I'm happy to hear that.
Lindsay was trying to be nice and didn't want me to make a clip.
Well, you have
specifically
an intern.
for her.
I don't want to create extra work.
No, I have a team of people working on all this stuff.
I'm not adding to anybody's mountain.
I'd have to pay her to do this work for you. I'm not doing that. Tell you that much. 4:50. We will break. When we come back, Apple is launching new phones, new products next week. Does anyone care? Has some of the luster worn off on that? We'll talk about it next.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's do Livia. Let's talk about Livia Weight Control Center. It's Jason here for really, of any of the people I tell you about, Livia straight up changed my life. 45 pounds I lost thanks to the Livia Weight Control Center in Coon Rapids. And I single them out because the Livia Difference Maker, yes, they have the incredible medical team guiding their program, and they were guiding the nutrition program. Today, they're guiding the way that you use GLP-1s, if that's for you. You use nutrition, you use hormone replacement. They got all of this stuff under one roof, under one team. But it is the people that make the difference. It's not just a prescription. It is an entire support system. They're there to make sure you reach the version of you that you want to be. It's not about like you step on a scale. They're like, well, the chart says you should be that. No, you have a conversation about your life, your needs, your goals, how much you're willing to change, how much you're not. I'm a food critic. I'm going to the dang wine weekend. Okay, there is a point where I'm like, good enough. They'll get you to what you want to be, and they'll keep you there. That's the Livia difference. Start the conversation. The hardest part is just acknowledging that you need some help. What you've done before didn't work. That was my experience. Livia can help you out. Livia.com is the website, LIVEA.com. or call 855-GO-LIVIA.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Got some problems in the center lane of Highway 100 southbound as you make way toward Glenwood Avenue. Get ready for your slowdowns. You come down from Duluth Street with a mix of stop and go stop. 35W northbound, County Road 10, crash off to the right. Expect slowdowns there past County Road E2. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get ready to say fins up and relax at Margaritaville Beach Resort in Fort Myers Beach and Compass Hotel in Naples, Florida. Reserve your spot at MargaritavilleResorts.com. Enter promo code WCCO for this exclusive deal. Only available at these 2 Margaritaville locations. Your ultimate getaway awaits.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast time, Chris Schaefer says you're going to have a great Friday and a dumpster of a weekend. Tomorrow, high temperature about 47. I'm calling it. It's going to be 50 tomorrow. These weather people are such cowards. They don't want to throw up the 50 on the board, so everyone's like, oh, it didn't get 50. I'm saying it. It's going to be 50. Saturday is going to be 20, though. So enjoy it. Enjoy tomorrow. Actually, everybody take tomorrow off work. Right now, it's 41 in Minneapolis. Home of the Minneapolis Club, where I am a member. Vanita is a member, and you can go hang out at the Minneapolis Club whenever you want. Charlie's is the name of the restaurant. You can go to the bar, you can have dinner, they have brunch on the weekend. Check it out. One of the most beautiful buildings in the state of Minnesota. That is the Minneapolis Club. Drive time rolling on right now.
Tune in. Take part. Come on, don't just be a spectator. Get in on the discussion. The CCO talk and text line, 651-461-9226.
What do you think? Do you know anything about this?
No. It's a gay hockey show, and you see stuff.
Where is it?
You get 5 episodes today, and the finale comes out on Friday night.
This is the best!
As a shadow crosses my
There it is.
What it takes to come alive.
Heated rivalry weekend. We should have made this a theme show. I don't know. How do you think, like, our listeners, I know you're doing your part. I'm just saying, like, topically, more heated rivalry talk. Do you think our listeners, your CCO listener, what is the Venn diagram of CCO radio listener and heated rivalry? If you've watched Heated Rivalry, text me and let me know what I should be ready for. 651-461-9226.
One that's so unrealistic it can't exist in this world.
It's about like some dude hockey players who like
they fall in love in a hopeless place, Jason.
Yeah.
That is hockey culture. It's not very friendly to many people, especially to themselves. That's how they, treat a lot of other people not so great because you start treating yourself not great, and then it just spews out.
Right, you might be projecting.
Shane Hollander.
There's
Ilya Rozanov.
There's some high sticking involved.
You could say that.
Okay. It's fine.
Educate yourselves on the cultural impact and things that make our culture feel.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I think we're out of time. It's time. Our time is up. Here comes
You're good at this.
CBS News.
Financial literacy. It's amazing they don't teach it in school. Listen to the Investing with Confidence show every Sunday at 11 p.m. and join us for a free investing class by texting the word investing to the number 210-210. Take action today and make a change for tomorrow. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 today.
Guarantee cash offer is the way to go. Just call Chris Lindahl. He'll buy your house today. He'll help you get a fresh start right away. Just call Chris Lindahl with his arms so wide. He'll help you move on fast and keep things simplified. Just call Chris Lindahl. His program is the bomb. Apply for your offer at chrislindahl.com.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
News Talk 830 WCCO, Minneapolis, St. Paul. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. During 6 hours of questioning, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton tells the House Oversight Committee when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, she knew nothing about his crimes.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices.
Republican Committee Chairman James Comer of Kentucky.
I think this was a productive deposition today. I think we learned a lot.
CBS's Erica Brown on What's Next.
Former President Bill Clinton is expected to testify Friday, and Chairman Comer denied the Clintons' request to conduct the questioning in public, but said he may consider a public hearing at a later time.
The White House confirms U.S. citizens were aboard the stolen speedboat involved in a deadly shooting with the Cuban Coast Guard yesterday. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirms the U.S. is investigating the incident, while Havana's deputy foreign minister also says U.S. government authorities have expressed their willingness to cooperate in clarifying what he called these regrettable events. Cuba says the boat, intercepted off its north coast, was carrying 10 armed passengers and that they intended to carry out an incursion for the purposes of terrorism. One of the 4 people killed was a U.S. citizen. Another citizen was among the injured. The boat's owner says he suspected it was stolen by an employee with family in Cuba. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The U.S. and Iran have wrapped up a third round of nuclear talks in Geneva as the Trump administration weighs possible military action if no deal is reached on Iran's nuclear program. CBS's Natalie Brand.
President Trump's son-in-law and special envoy Steve Witkoff sat down with Oman's foreign minister Thursday, who's mediating the nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran. He said they've finished the day after significant progress and said discussions on a technical level will take place next week.
The Tucson area house where authorities believe Nancy Guthrie was abducted in the middle of the night will be returned to her family, according to a CBS News law enforcement source. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti reports.
From an investigative perspective, it means that this crime scene has been processed. It is now clear the Guthrie family, if they choose to do so, can return back without any restrictions. It's unclear if they will return back to the home.
Netflix declines to raise an offer for Warner Brothers, saying the deal is no longer financially attractive. This after Warner Brothers said CBS News parent company, Paramount Skydance, has made a revised superior proposal. Anthropic CEO says the AI company cannot in good conscience accede to the Pentagon's demands to allow wider use of its tech. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60
Jen.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly clear, 42 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says tackling fraud in state programs is his number one priority during his last year in office. Walz outlining his administration's anti-fraud legislative package today, building on steps he says are already being taken with fraud detection, strengthened investigative authority, and increased criminal penalties. The governor also venting his frustration with the Trump administration's new plan to withhold more Medicaid funding from the state.
CMS's own numbers say Medicaid error rates in Minnesota are 2.1%, national average is 6.4%. Why are you coming to a state with the lowest in this? And why did you make an arbitrary decision to, what's the word I'm using now they're calling this? A deferral. A deferral. It's not, it's a ransom note.
The administration is temporarily withholding $260 million in federal Medicaid reimbursements until the state implements a corrective action plan to address alleged misuse of public funds. State leaders say they have already been doing that and that the action amounts to retribution. Minnesota college and university leaders describing what they call a climate of fear as they testified at the Capitol today on how their campuses have been impacted by Operation Metro Surge. Winona State Faculty Association President Jenna Chernega telling a House Higher Education Committee many students are in limbo.
The occupation has created a visa catch-22 for our international students who are terrified to leave their homes for an in-person class. And yet, if they stay home, they risk violating the very in-person learning visa requirements that allow them to be here.
She says faculty is also seeing increased workloads due to students choosing to learn online. Minneapolis-based Target Corporation paying nearly $110 million to get out of its lease at City Center downtown. The company moved out of nearly 1 million square feet of office space in 2021, downsizing to its Nicollet Mall locations and calling its largest employee unit back to the office 3 days a week. The owner of the building is expected to list it for sale soon. A heads up for 394 commuters. Both directions between downtown Minneapolis and Highway 100 will be closed for the weekend starting at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Crews will be removing the Penn Avenue Bridge as part of a larger bridge improvement project. And finally, little fun for a well-loved actor and foodie and some members of the U.S. Women's Olympic hockey team.
Included in the bunch was Minnesota Frost professional hockey players Kelly Panic and Lee Steckline. After winning their gold medal victory over Canada, they were invited to visit Ristorante Ratana to eat risotto with actor Stanley Tucci. During the meal, Panic asked him this.
What position would you want to play?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Forward.
Okay. Yeah, goal scorer. I can see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Absolutely.
Right? And just emanating goals.
You've got finesse, I can tell.
The story first aired on NBC during the Olympics. The Frost returned to action Sunday on the road against Montreal. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Flint Hills Resources Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemont produces important transportation fuels used throughout the Midwest, but they're also active in the community. They support many programs and organizations that make Minnesota better. Go to FHR.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Flint Hills Resources. Still got the problems out on 100 southbound near Glenwood Avenue with a stalled truck. Central lane shut down, traffic squeezing by off to the left and the far right lane, so get ready for your slowdowns. You come down from Duluth Street. As a result, eastbound 394, still a slow ride this afternoon, 100 to 94. Over on the East Metro, not too bad. Things are a bit slow for East 94 as make way toward Marion out to Mounds Boulevard. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by JTR Roofing. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Our spring-like vibe rolls on. Partly cloudy this evening, only falling back to 30 overnight tonight. That's quite mild. Even warmer tomorrow with a high in the mid-40s. Now, it is going to get windy. A western wind will become more northwest in the afternoon, 10 to 15. That's going to bring in some cooler air. Saturday's high 22, 25 Sunday, the one chance of snow across southern Minnesota Saturday morning.
Mostly clear right now, 42 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
So new, they squeak if you rub them. Fresh news stories and topics every day on News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
Hey, really, the whole conversation in the studio here has been about Stanley Tucci. It's Tucci Thursday.
Yes.
Laura Oakes covering the news for us. She's out of here. She's like, I'm taking my Stanley Tucci story. I've done enough for you people today. I get it. Stanley Tucci, I do think, if you ask the ladies, you and Laura were quite smitten with Mr. Tucci. Yes?
Huge fan of him and his work across many a different film. Devil Wears Prada.
Sure.
Julie and Julia. A Deep Cut. Easy A. He plays Emma Stone's dad in that film.
Nice.
Excellent. Great one-liners.
I have 1 hour left until my weekend, and I'm still bringing it. Okay, don't think I'm going to, coast to the finish line tonight. Heck no.
You're going to blow out a hammy first. So I say to the kids, don't just stop after you get through the end line there. You got to cool and coast down. Otherwise,
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Blois Olson will be in for me tomorrow. So look for Blois to have some sort of fraudulent list of his favorite, chicken sandwich or whatever nonsense he makes up. He likes the lists.
I've never worked with him, so this will be exciting.
I'm a Blois Olson fan. I'm in the minority.
I like him too.
But
he's got a TikTok. He puts it up. I see him.
He does have a TikTok.
Doing the legwork.
Yeah, he does have a TikTok. It needs some work. But follow Blois Olson on the TikTok. I will be launching a TikTok later tonight that I think people will like. I mean, you saw it.
I did see it. I was going to say, your profile or just the video? You already have a profile?
No, I have a TikTok. You follow Blois on TikTok and not me?
I don't know if I follow him as much as, he comes across my feed. I sometimes wonder about,
You just see Blois in his basement with his big old giant microphone in the foreground, and that's TikTok? What do people want on TikTok from Jason DeRusha? Do they want hot takes? Do they want restaurant visits? What do you think the people
cringe. I was going to say, when we were talking about our Gen Z, I'm like, Gen Z has a lot of great qualities. They're too self-aware. They're very averse to being so free that it doesn't matter what they look like. So like cringe to me is not only revolutionary, but it's very funny.
So you want cringe?
I want cringe.
All right. I don't even know what that means, really. So I'm not certain.
Let's start on today's video.
Okay, that's cringe. It's cringe?
It's just like over-exaggerated or just, free. And sometimes what comes out is you look like a dork or a doofus, as some people would say on the text line. I love a good doofus.
Me too. Let's do the DeRUSH Hour News Headlines.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRush Hour Headlines, starting with the lead.
And we begin with the governor's latest effort to try to fight fraud and prevent fraud in Minnesota. The governor, as you heard Laura Oakes reporting at the top of the hour, said that fraud is job one for him in his final year as governor of Minnesota. He also spoke out about a federal government effort announced by the vice president just yesterday to claw back or prevent spending Medicaid money. And so the federal government's saying, like, they're going to stop payment on a bunch of stuff. Here's what the governor had to say this morning.
It is absolutely not serious. It's not meant to fight fraud. How taking health care from 400,000 children, pregnant women, and the elderly, I would ask all of you, did you hear in there what specific steps they were going to take to stop the fraud, or what the specific fraud they were talking about? They're using it as a general term in this, and they're not serious. So we're at a crossroads here in Minnesota. If you like talking about fraud and you think it's an electoral issue for you, that's gone. I'm not running. That's gone. If you're serious about fighting fraud, you can help us work on this package, get this package passed, give the tools necessary to the folks so they can continue to do what we're already seeing, enhanced program integrity that my role was. You saw in Tim O'Malley, who I want to thank again, report that this is something that has plagued governors going back 50 years. Other governors have dealt with fraud. I want to be the last one to deal with it. I want Minnesota's modernization around program delivery to be the strongest.
Now, the question, as always, is, will the legislature pass through any of this? Will they fund any of this? We are in election year where the Speaker of the House is likely to be the Republican candidate for governor in Minnesota. So is the incentive there to work with the governor to solve something, or is the incentive there to keep the problem alive and then keep the issue alive? Right now it is House Democrats who are blocking efforts to have an office of Inspector General. A bipartisan group of state senators passed a bill at the end of last session, at the end of last year, and then the DFLers in the House have been nitpicking and questioning almost all of it. So that is where things stand. I was interested in the latest reporting that looked at a question that seems sort of controversial, right? Because the federal government so often has been so fast and loose with the truth when it comes to what is going on with the ICE surge and what, in fact, is happening in certain arrests or in certain detainments, what's going on. You know, there was an announcement not long ago that ICE was drawing down the surge. Not that they were leaving the state, but they were drawing down the surge. So where are they? Here's a report from Channel 4.
Court records show there were more than 4,000 federal agents here in the last 2 months. Now that number is closer to 400.
Massive change. That's Aaron Hassanzadeh on Channel 4. New court records are really the first spot that give us an indication as to exactly what is going on when you're looking at the number of ICE agents. And you heard Aaron say it was down closer to 400 from 4,000. But when you're looking at actual field agents, right, the ICE agents who are responding in neighborhoods and communities and all of that, the latest court document says the number of field agents directly involved in immigration is just about 100. There will still be about 300 agents in the state by March, but the feds are saying that those agents are largely doing fraud investigations and other stuff. So you got about 100 agents doing immigration enforcement, and that is very close to what we had in Minnesota before the surge started. You may have heard the conversation at the federal level about tariffs, right? The Supreme Court ruled that the president's tariffs are beyond what the law permits, that he went too far. So I asked that very first day when the Supreme Court said, these tariffs are over the line, when do we, the consumer, is there any chance that we are going to get some of our money back?
To be or not to be, that is a question whether it is noble in the mind to suffer those things and hours of our just fortune to consequence to see of troubles and by posing in them to die to sleep pretends to dream other. You get the idea.
Okay, Eunice, travel plans. I need to be in New York on Monday, LA on Tuesday, New York on Wednesday, LA on Thursday, New York on Friday. Got it? Got it. So you want to work here. What really makes you think you deserve a job here?
Well, sir, I think on my feet I'm good at figures and have a sharp mind.
Excellent. Can you start on Monday?
Yes, sir, absolutely, without hesitation.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Wonderful. And in conclusion, Jim, Bill, Bob, call Fred, Load, Dork, 8 and 10.
I mean, those were the best FedEx commercials, right? That FedEx could keep up with the fast talking. Lindsay, you're too young, but there was a phase of like fast talkers in commercials, like Joe Isuzu doing like Isuzu ads, talking super fast, and that guy for the FedEx ads.
Auctions must have been big business.
Big business. So FedEx saying today in a lawsuit, because they have sued the White House saying, look, the Supreme Court ruled against these duties. If a federal court actually orders the Trump administration to take the billions of dollars collected from its tariff, repay that, FedEx announced this week it will return the money to customers who bore the brunt of the charges. Pretty interesting. There are a number of businesses who have sought to jump on this recent Supreme Court ruling. The New York Times reporting that FedEx often acts as an importer of record. So when you bring something in the U.S. and you do it through FedEx, FedEx is the importer. It pays the duty, the tariff, but then it passes that along to the customers and the companies. So this is the first large business saying if it gets any refunds back from this, it's going to give those refunds to the shippers and the consumers. That's how it should be, right? I think that's how it should be. One other news story of note in the Twin Cities. Word coming out today that D'Amico and Sons is going to close its last 2 Minnesota locations. Larry and Richard D'Amico have been absolute game changers when it comes to the food scene in Minnesota. And you may remember D'Amico Cucina, which was just an absolutely legendary Italian restaurant that not only was known for the quality of the food, but it was also known because so many great chefs went through there. If you've ever been to Bar La Grassa or 112, Isaac Becker trained at D'Amico Cucina. Tim McKee, who opened La Belle Vie, has been behind some of the greatest restaurants ever in Minnesota. Tim McKee, Josh Toma from Smack Shack, Jay Sparks, Joan Ida. I can go on and name some of the incredible chefs that have gone through the D'Amico ecosystem. But Richard and Larry opened businesses in Naples, Florida. And they made the decision that I almost made last week, which was I don't think I want to come back. And so the 2 final D'Amico and Sons, one in Golden Valley, one in Edina, they will close their doors on March 28th. 30 years of business in this state. But now it's all Naples. Campiello in Naples, the Continental. D'Amico's catering arm will continue operating here in Minnesota. They do all the food at International Market Square and a number of other private event spots. If you've ever booked a wedding, you maybe have used D'Amico. That is the lead. DeRUSH Hour News Headlines continuing in a minute, in depth. This one is going to get your attention. A local bar and restaurant that's offering free dinner to state legislators, but there's a catch. What is that catch? I think you're going to like it. We'll talk about it when we come back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
You know, we've talked a little bit today about dressing better, looking better. A lot of you connected and resonated with the idea of that airport saying no more pajamas. If you are walking around in pajamas, you be you. You do you. But if you're looking to level up your fashion, level up your look, may I recommend J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. It's Jason here for J.H. & Sons. Today I'm dressed head to toe in J.H. & Sons. So if you want to see the beautiful fabrics, I'm wearing like a sweater polo right now that I got from J.H. & Sons. I have this sort of chocolate brown denim pants on. Casual, date night, office, workwear, they've got all of it. What really sets them apart is the tailoring. Now, I went and bought a button-up long-sleeve shirt, and they were like, hang on. And out comes Dean, the tailor, making some adjustments, and they're like, come get it next week. So they will tailor even like a casual button-up shirt. But there's suits, man. If you've got a special event or a wedding or something on the horizon for you, you have got to get to J.H. & Sons. Go see my guy, Kevin. Go see Bryce. Go see Chuck. These people will become your friends. They will become your confidants. They will become your fashion guides. So go see the best. Experience the best. It's jhnSons.com to sign up for their email list. But get to the Galleria. Get to Edina. Go see my team at J.H. & Sons.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund.
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm having a hard time hearing you. I don't know how to turn the volume up.
At StraightTalk.com
That's all right. I'm not as important as Jason is, but are you just talking through your laptop today?
Yeah, I've got a little mic here. I don't know if
You
I
know
think
that
it's
big
working.
bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water?
Hey, can you hear me
I was
okay?
getting a better deal
Yep, we
because
got
it's so
you.
big.
Yeah,
If
you
you
sound
want a
great.
better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is
If you
pure
have headphones, you can
concentrated
wear those,
cleaning
but if not,
ingredients.
that's cool too.
Yeah, I can't hear you very well. Am I going to be able to hear Jason better, do you
If
think?
you want a real deal, try Tide Pods. Stop paying for watered down detergents.
He's gonna make
Pay
some
for clean.
adjustments.
If it's
Just give
got to
us a
be
second
clean,
here.
it's got to be Tide.
I don't know how to do the volume on this thing. Otherwise, I'd do it on my end.
So how about now?
I can hear you fine.
Does this sound all right, Will?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, it'll sound fine then. Don't worry about it. It'll be good.
Okay.
DeRUSH Hour News Headlines going in depth with such a cool idea from a St. Paul pub called Sweeney's. Will Rolfe is with us via video link up on our YouTube channel, live on YouTube, with an idea about bringing opposing political parties together over a meal. Will, it's good to see you. Thanks for visiting.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
So this idea, in a time where I think we're all very interested in like, okay, could we have some bipartisanship in anything? Tell us what you have come up with.
Well, we're offering to the legislators, if they come in, a Republican and a Democrat together, we're going to buy them a poor man's special, which is our lunch special, but they can also get it later at night, and a beer. Or if they don't drink beer, we can get them a pop.
And the idea is that
they got to come in together, one Republican, one Democrat.
There it is. That's the catch, that they've got to come in together.
Right.
And I mean, this used to sort of be the norm in St. Paul, where you would have politicians from different political backgrounds, and they would just sort of, that personal conversation makes it a little harder to villainize the other person, right?
Yeah, if you go out for a beer with somebody, it's a lot harder to call them the evil other, or what are the fascists and communists? I think are the use now.
That's right. That's right. And your poor man special it's a different special every day.
Changes every day.
Yeah, give us an example. What's the special today?
Today it's a hero sandwich, and then there's also, I think, a Thai chicken wrap.
Interesting. What is it for you, Will, that made you say, all right, I want to try to do something in this area?
Well, I've kind of been tangentially involved in politics for decades, written checks and done fundraisers and things like that. But what I found is it's really hard to get anything done in this legislature because nobody talks to each other. So if somebody has a good idea, they don't want the other side to get credit for it because then they might lose at the polls or something. And it would be nice if they could set that aside and work together for things that are good for the whole state.
Will Rolfe is with us. He has owned Sweeney's Saloon on Dale Street in the Cathedral Hill area of St. Paul for about a year now. If you think about it, Will, last night I was sitting at the bar at Four Paws, talking to Branson, the bartender, hanging out with a guy named Andy, who is next to us, and it's just like there's something about the neighborhood bar where, I don't know, you can talk to people from different parts of the world, different viewpoints, different financial background, different anything, but I don't know, there's something about that moment, isn't there?
Well, yeah, at Sweeney's our crowd's really diverse, because we're in Cathedral Hill, so you get people from Summit coming in, and you get people from the neighborhood coming in, and it's a real mix, but it's also a real comfortable place to sit and talk. We don't have live music because people like to talk there.
Yeah, right. It's exactly right. I mean, there is something about like sharing a meal, breaking bread. And look, like this isn't going to solve the impasse over gun control legislation at the Capitol. But are you hopeful that it could be a way to at least get things started?
I'm definitely hopeful that if people talk to each other, that they can find some common ground. Even on an issue like gun control, there's some common ground. Nobody wants to see anybody get shot. And they're just disagreeing about how to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about that a lot, right? That on most issues as Americans, we all sort of want the same things. We want to be safer. We want to be healthy. We want our kids to have a good education. We do have different ideas about the right way to get it done. But at the core, like most of our core beliefs, I don't think are really all that far apart from each other.
Well, right. Well, on education, like you mentioned, there's this thing that's been in the news where Mississippi has better reading outcomes than Minnesota now, which is kind of embarrassing. And so maybe the Republicans might say, oh, well, that's because they don't have good requirements in the schools or whatever. And the Democrats would say, well, they're not giving enough money. But maybe they could get together and say, well, instead of blaming each other, how are we going to fix this?
Yeah. Well, I think it's little steps like this that maybe get us a path to like being able to talk to people we disagree with again. I think it's really great. And I'm so glad you had this idea. Just any elected official, one Democrat, one Republican, any legislator is the idea, right?
We're limiting it to the state legislature at this point. I think if Tim Walz and Tom Emmer wanted to come in and talk, I definitely I might give them a steak sandwich.
I'll buy them the meal. I will pay for whatever those two want if they would sit down.
We might even do martinis for those guys, not just a beer.
That's right. All right, you text me and let me know, and I'll Venmo you the money for sure. Will Rolfe, look forward to stopping in and saying hi myself. Will, thanks for visiting with us from Sweeney.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Pretty cool. Great saloon. Great spot in Cathedral Hill. Beautiful old building, Sweeney's Saloon in St. Paul. Just try to do their part to get that conversation started. It's pretty good.
Is Poor Man Special like an inside joke? Or is it just like the label? Is it automatically implied that it's on the house?
Will, why? Can you tell us what?
Special is that's a bit of an inside joke.
Okay.
But it's also really cheap. It's $9.95.
So there you go.
Right
and you get a $3 tap with it. So it's $13 for a sandwich and a beer.
pretty
So
good.
it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And then, well, and our slogan is a fool and his money are always welcome at Sweeney's.
It's perfect.
You're in the right business, Will.
Very good. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it. 5:31. There goes Will. That's the DeRUSH Hour News Headlines in depth here on CCO. Let's break in. I have sort of a hodgepodge of nonsense for you for our last half hour, including a question about the toughest city name in Minnesota to pronounce. Some funny audio from ESPN last night as we talk about it. You can text in 651-461. Actually, well, you don't have that in your email box. You should call in.
You can text.
You can text or you can call. I was going to tell people the voice message.
I don't know how to do that. I haven't gotten the clearance for that yet.
651. You got to do it the old-fashioned way. Toughest Minnesota city to pronounce at 651-461-9226.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by LendSeek.
Trucking and logistics companies are facing new AI competition. Algorithm Holdings announced an AI freight scaling tool called SemiCab, which Algorithm says resulted in massive production increases for companies without adding employees. A year ago, Algorithm sold its singing machine karaoke business for $4.5 million and repositioned itself as an AI logistics firm. I'm Jason Brooks.
As the owner, coach, and quarterback of your small business, you call the shots. From inventory to payroll and more. Now it's time to bring in LendSeek, your funding MVP. No delay of game here. Get up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours for business lines of credit or term loans. Let LendSeek's AI marketplace assist you in making the winning play and score that touchdown. Apply at lendseek.com, LENDSEEK.com.
Hi, it's Vanita, and we know how great the John Schuster Group is, but it's wonderful to hear from people who have benefited from that relationship. One of them is Ray from Minnetonka. Ray, thanks so much for joining us. Why did you choose the John Schuster Group?
At our first meeting with Tim and Abby Lehman, we clicked right away.
What was your experience like selling your home with the John Schuster Group?
It was incredibly simple. Our first day on the market, we got our first offer, and I was like, wow, we did get multiple offers, but we went with the first offer we got on Friday.
Okay, bottom line, why should every WCCO listener contact the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, when it's time to move?
From the moment they walked into our home, we had nothing to worry about with them. We're just beyond our expectations. We just can't thank them enough.
952-222-9000, online, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by James Hardy. You're going to find things running pretty smooth for East 36 as move between Cleveland Avenue and 61. 390 for eastbound, still a slow ride, 100 into downtown Minneapolis on the south side of the metro. You're going to find some slowing crosstown eastbound and move between Gleason and 35W. Your home deserves the best. Hardy Fiber Cement Siding is engineered for your climate, designed to stand up to elements in your region. Learn more about the #1 brand of siding in North America at jameshardy.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Let's do it. CCO forecast time. Why don't we check in with our guy, Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Quite mild overnight tonight, only falling back to 30 with a partly cloudy sky. Mid-40s tomorrow. The only negative, the wind picking up from the west-northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's going to bring in some cooler air. Saturday's high around 22.
Enough. You've said enough, Chris Schaefer. Oh, it's 40 degrees. This thing, we kept the train on the tracks this long. The next half hour, wish us well. Hit the button, Lindsay!
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha
This sounds like torture to me.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, I have to take a moment to pay tribute to the regular producer of this show, Dan Cook. Today, Dan Cook celebrates 25 years at WCCO Radio.
Holy buckets.
How about
Longevity to never be seen again in any industry anywhere.
How about that? Should we call him right now and put him on
Cold
the
call?
air?
I'm sure he'd love that.
He would be so mad. We'll celebrate him properly next week when he gets back. But today on Vanita's show in the morning, she does this Sokar salute. Are you familiar with the Sokar salute?
I'm usually not up that early, so
It's like
I would
where
love to
it's
be
usually
informed.
like somebody who does something awesome.
Oh, okay, so it's like a kudos. I
It's
didn't
a
know if there was
kudos.
a handshake or something. I know that those can get quite creative.
True. I don't think she does that. Once she made my son, Sam, got the Sokar salute.
Really?
Because he got a 36 on his ACT.
Oh, that's a humble brag right there.
Not for
Who
me.
gets a 36 on the ACT? Which one of them was it, Sam?
The younger one, yeah.
Go outside. Save some points for the rest of us.
It's because his brother got a 34, his older brother, and Sam was like, I'm going to beat that.
Same thing happened for Serena Williams.
And Seth laughed, like, sure you are. And then Sam actually worked
Did
at
he
it.
study?
Yeah.
I did not.
Tutoring, studying, all that. I didn't do any of that stuff either. I'm not going to ask you what you got. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Doesn't matter. I got
Most colleges don't even use it anymore.
I got a 31. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
I will say I took mine before all of my diagnoses. So I feel like with medical
Oh, you would have been
intervention,
better,
I
for
would have
sure.
been in a better place.
Oh, no question you would have.
Oh,
Because
it's
most of it is
jarring how much better I
Yeah.
could have been at life.
Yeah. Medical science, man. A lot of stuff.
Believe it.
It's good stuff. Okay, so when I first moved to Minnesota, there are some town names that are challenging to pronounce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, well, look, here, it's not even town names. When you are a broadcaster, sometimes words come up. I was a news anchor for a long time. They're in the teleprompter. You have to say it. You read your script before the show, but you can't, like, I don't know. You're supposed to, like, call. I used to call City Hall. That's what I would do if I wasn't sure. Like, when I was anchoring the morning news, I'm reading scripts at 3:30, 3:45. It's not like there's somebody to call. So I would call City Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, if you are a City Hall clerk, I don't know, whoever records the message, the voicemail for City Hall, if you just say thank you for calling City Hall, you should probably be hauled out back and kicked swiftly in the butt.
Oh, my.
I was going to say shot, but that feels assertive. It's a little aggressive.
Slightly assertive.
But, like, say the name of the city. And all of you people who don't say your name on your voicemail, you are screwing over some morning news anchor who's just trying to get the proper pronunciation of your name. Because that was my other trick. I would try to call their office phone
Sure.
You're not waking anybody up.
Mm-mm.
On ESPN, and I think you have the sound of a hapless announcer who was doing the top 10. That's sort of a bit on SportsCenter. And, well, let's just take a listen.
The Minnesota high school hockey, Adina taking on Wayzata right here. Bo McConnell with the puck, hits it off the wall and crawls up the net, and McConnell comes back to put it in for the goal. Take another look at it right there. One of 3 goals for McConnell as Adina wins it 3-1. Good old Minnesota hockey.
How about it? How are you going to beat that?
Okay. So, I mean, can we hear it again? Because once you hear it wrong the first time, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, just the first part, her first sentence, here we go.
She even got Bodie wrong.
The Minnesota high school hockey, Adina taking on Wayzata right here. Bo McConnell with the puck, hits it off the wall and crawls up the net, and McConnell comes back to put it in for the goal. Take another look at it right there. One of 3 goals for McConnell as Adina wins it 3-1.
The double
Minnesota
Adina.
How about it? How are you going to beat that?
That goal is sick, though. Also a nightmare scenario for goaltenders everywhere.
I mean, your focus is very different on this scenario.
I mean, I've let in worse
goalie.
goals than that, but, like, that's in a section final.
It's not great.
Those things will stick with you for the rest of your life, man.
Classic Adina, though.
Classic Adina.
Just pull that Adina move, and Wayzata just got it right in, right between. Was that a nutmeg scenario? Was that right between the legs? Maybe.
Make her say Matamidai. That's another one. We would do this with, like, teammates when we would visit Minnesota. We're like, let's have you say a bunch of our town names and see how bad you'd butcher them. And, like, Matamidai was also one that was a big tripper.
Matamidai, in fairness, that's tough. What about Faribault?
That one's tough as well. But
Faribault feels like it should be easy, but
from Fargo,
you're going to Faribault it. You're going to Faribault it. How would you say new Prague?
An outsider would say no, New Prague.
Right.
They don't know how to say bag like we do.
Bag was one of the words that bag and sack when I was in Iowa. My first job was in Iowa, and I went to Hy-Vee. And at the Hy-Vee, they asked if I wanted a sack. Do you want a sack? So imagine you're
they
at
said that here?
Iowa.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Listening's hard.
So you're at the Hy-Vee, and they're like, do you want a sack? And I said, pardon me? Do you want a sack? I'm still not tracking. Like, what are you? And then she grabbed it. I'm like, oh, a bag. You mean a bag? A sack. I'm like, do I want a sack? Like, what kind of store is this? I didn't know what she was offering me.
Minnesota is also the only area in the hockey community that calls breezers what they are. Everywhere else, they're called hockey pants. Like, they give us a lot of crap for calling them the breezes.
Breezers?
Yep, we call them breezers. Everybody else calls them hockey pants.
And hockey, so tell me, like, I don't know anything about hockey, really.
Okay.
What is a breezer?
So you have basically the shorts that are on the outside. They look like shorts, but there's padding for your butt, for your hips, for the front of your legs. It's what you put on, basically last in your lower body, depending on, like, what order you put your stuff on, and that's a personal thing for everybody. But they're on the outside to the viewer, to the fan, it looks like the shorts that are on the body, but we call them breezers.
Breezers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So, like, if you Google breezers, it shows you these sort of hockey, like, there's a thing, hockey breezers, but then when you look at the actual, like, name of the item, it says hockey pants.
Correct.
So it's like an SEO thing where they're trying to, interesting.
Or we say tennis shoes.
These pants are expensive.
A lot of other people
$100
say
to $180.
Sneakers. Oh, cheap part of the equipment outfit.
What is
Try being a goalie, Jason. Get back to me.
What does it cost, like, a whole goalie getup? Because my kids played
your
soccer.
Leg pads are probably $1,500 to $2,000.
What?
For just your legs. I'm trying to, I haven't bought leg pads for a really long time. And at Ohio State, you get new leg pads every year. At St. Anselm College, you get one pair of pads for all 4 years. And then if you need any other ones, you can buy them yourself. And I did. Not the leg pads, the glove, though. The glove was too big, so I got the smaller one. It was easier to close. But those are $1,500, $2,000. Gloves are probably, in today's dollars, $500 each for the blocker, $500 for the glove. Goalie helmet's probably closer to $1,000, high end, $1,200 or so.
So how did you afford this? When you're in high school, for example, or the team has the gear.
Yep, there are a lot of associations when you're starting out. They'll have just kind of association gear. I remember I had these pair of Bryans that would start maybe at 10 pounds, but then you put them in the crease for a game, 60 minutes. They'd come out at 15 just from the water retention. Those old school ones. Yeah. But the pads these days, they should be cheaper because they're easier to make, but because hockey is such what I call a rich bitch sport, they can charge whatever they want because people are going to pay it. And so I didn't get my first pair of pads that were mine until I was 12 years old. Huh. And so I'd already committed. And that's the thing. Hockey is a financial commitment in one way, and then goalie is an additional commitment because you have your own training, more gear. You got to get the eyeballs going. I had eye training for a while. You got to get the sports psychologist because goalies will learn to hate themselves. So you got to make sure they stay even keel enough to make the next save. And so it's a very hard position for the most special of people. But yeah, it's expensive, and I'm very grateful for my parents and to have grown up in the time that I did, because if I was coming into hockey right now, there's no way my family would have been able to afford it. There's no way.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
We told our kids, I sort of feel bad about it, but we told them when they were young that we were not interested in them playing hockey.
You're not the only ones.
You could play anything else, but hockey, no. I sort of feel bad about it because what if they, look, actually, I know my kids.
What if they could have been on the Olympic team and stood up and said something?
Yeah.
They could have been.
They wouldn't have laughed.
Better, Jason. They were taught better.
I think one of my kids wouldn't have laughed and one of my kids would have laughed.
Yeah. Like you said, different strokes and different
places. I do my best.
Yep.
I do my best. Let's break. When we come back, I want to talk. There's been a lot of discussion today about Target and this lease they're leaving in downtown Minneapolis. I do not think it's anything to freak out about. So I'll tell you why. I know you guys want to hate on downtown Minneapolis, and I am not allowing it today. We will be back with the end of Drive Time in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you've never called CCO before, please don't start now. Sure, you've been yelling at your dashboard for years, maybe decades. Yes, you had a unique take on Operation Metro Surge, and okay, you did predict a lot of what's happened with the twins. But calling? Texting? Actually joining the conversation? That sounds risky. What if we agree with you? What if you're good at this? Nah, better to stay anonymous. Safe. In the background. News Talk 830 WCCO. Don't call. Unless you're ready.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Rush working for northbound 35W, the area of 42nd Street. The activity off to the right side. Things are jammed as you come up from 50th Street. Southbound already slow as you make way between University, heading down to Lake Street. Also some slowing for South 35W as you move across the Minnesota River Bridge, making your way down to Burnsville Parkway. Joey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast tonight, partly cloudy, low at 30. What a goof. It's so warm, right? And then tomorrow, 46 is the high. I'm calling it. It's going to be 50. And then Saturday, 22. Maybe some snow to the south. Right now in Edina, it is 39 on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Florida, and seems relatively uninterested in downtown Minneapolis. There's a new CEO now. The workers are back in the office a little bit more than they were before. And many of the Minneapolis haters, I need like a clever name to describe the people who make part of their identity ripping on Minneapolis and St. Paul. I criticize plenty of things in Minneapolis and St. Paul. But the fact that Target bought out their lease in City Center, this story is in fact, it's a good thing for Minneapolis. And let me explain why. The fact that Target consolidated most of their workforce in their building, the Target headquarters that you know of, and in Brooklyn Center, is not great for downtown. It was better when they were in multiple locations. They have more employees downtown, more people visiting stores and shopping and all of that. So that wasn't great. But that happened in 2021. In 2021, Target moved out of City Center. And they tried to sublease it. But they had like a crazy amount of square footage. So who's going to sublease, hundreds of thousands? Well, it was nearly 1 million, actually, square feet of office space. No one's going to sublease this, especially post-2021 when people have been working remotely. So today, in 2026, Target's saying that they're buying out their lease at City Center means nothing. It means nothing negative for sure, because this has already been baked into what downtown Minneapolis has been for the last 4.5 years. So Kendall Qualls, who is running for governor, posted an absolutely ignorant thing on his Facebook today. Like, oh, Target, this is what happens when you have anti-business policies. Target's moving out of Minneapolis. They're not moving out of Minneapolis. Nothing is changing except for one thing. Target spending that money to buy out of their lease instead of just paying their rent every month like they were, allows Target, or it allows City Center to like do something with that space. Maybe it can convert into housing or light manufacturing or something else.
Free third space.
But because Target was paying its rent and no one was subleasing it, it was just this dead 1 million square feet of office space right downtown. So I just would urge people, when your personality is built around seeing another opportunity to take a dump on the city, first of all, what's wrong with you? Like, what a miserable way to go through life. Second of all, what if you actually read the article or thought about it for 2 seconds? Is downtown Minneapolis in good shape right now? No. No, it's not. It's a lot more alive than it used to be. There are a lot of people around here on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but it's settling into a new reality. And it's not as fun as it used to be. It was more fun when there were a bazillion people down here and the restaurants were bumping and happy hour was a thing. But you know what? It is what it is. We can't. On the one hand, I'm frustrated with people who are always looking to punch the city in the gut. On the other hand, like, we can't just constantly be wringing our hands about like, oh, it used to be good and there used to be more people. It used to be. Well, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be okay. So, Target, thank you for buying out your lease. You do think, like, how much does rent cost? If it makes more financial sense for you to pay $110 million instead of paying rent for the next 5 years. You're like, that's some expensive rent, right? And 1 million square feet. But it doesn't, it's a nothing. So it's fine. Like, I don't know. I guess what I'm inviting you to do is not have a take on Target buying out the lease. It does not matter. And in fact, the good news is that hopefully now we can have something new in that site. I wouldn't mind if they knocked down City Center and put a new Timberwolves arena down there. That'd be all right. Henry Lake is standing by ready to tick off all the men in the audience. That's what he told me. So that sounds like who doesn't like getting mad? Stick around. I'll see you guys on Monday.
When you're looking for new appliances, Menards is the place to shop. We have an excellent in-stock